on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel, a channel where for some reason I have been tasked with talking to you guys about this battle area, steel body armor, right? Hopefully you guys can hear that. Okay, today we're talking about steel plates. Now before you just click off the video, today I'm going to tell you I'm just going to give you all my thoughts on steel plates, right? And a little bit of evidence behind, why I want to talk to you guys about steel plates is I own a set of steel plates, right? Now, you're going to have to watch the entire video, and you're going to have to figure out what my actual thoughts are for those of you that actually care, But I would say take this video, digest it, and you will have to decide at the end of the day what is right for you, right? There's no one-size-fits-all answer for the gun community, for training, for anything, right? So digest this video and let me know down in the comments what you're running and what you're going to run after this. If you are choosing to wear body armor for whatever, whether it be for home defense, WROL, SHTF, maybe you have to drive through an area that there's rioting and you just need to throw on, some body armor. That way, if you do for some reason get engaged, you can have a last-ditch effort at life. So I want to know at the end of this video what you guys are going to run and why. And I want you guys to be cool with each other in the comments and don't just attack each other just because someone disagrees with you. Because what I'm learning is a lot of you guys are in different financial situations. So, So having this discussion is going to hopefully open up some eyes and hopefully lead you guys to be able to have a informed decision on what you're going to run, okay? I say all that, but we got to take a moment to shill for myself. Guys, if you want to continue seeing content here on the channel, consider hitting the like button, subscribe, make sure you hit the little bell button so you can see whenever I drop a video. There's going to be a link for the Patreon down below. For most of you guys know, it's $5 a month, and it gets you access to our Discord server where you can find buddies to train with, game with, stay up late, and talk about why steel plates are right or wrong for you, right? Additionally, Mystery Ranch. They are going to be the sponsor of the channel for the foreseeable future. That way you guys have the availability and opportunity to buy a bag for, actual tactical use, whether that be training on the flat range, bugging out, or just a vehicle for your everyday carry. I wish I had my bag here. I have it somewhere. I'll grab it. But even if it's just a bag for your everyday carry, right? It's a good option, and if you use the link below, it'll help the channel out, and guess what? You get an awesome product as well. So here's an example. I know I talk about it a lot. This is my bag, one of my 2 Mystery Ranch bags, right? They did not send this to me. They barely know who I am other than through the affiliate link, right? This bag, it's a tri-zip technology. I use it every day, right? I've used it for like 4 years, and it's still awesome. You have your everyday stuff up top. So I would just consider, if you guys need a bag, a quality bag, go down below, use the link, and check out Mystery Ranch. Okay, now that I've shielded for myself enough, let's talk about the product, or let's talk about armor, okay, body armor. So think back, the year is like 2012. Let's see, I think it might say on here when I bought it. Think back, it's 2012, 2011, sometime around there, okay? This says date of manufacture was August of 2015. Okay, so according to these plates, the date of manufacture, hopefully the camera focuses, the date of manufacture is August of 2015. Now, back in those days, a lot of people did not know much about body armor because people were still learning, right? And the cool thing back then was go out and buy some steel plates. Now, obviously, I was in the Army at that time, and I was in the infantry, and I had my work plates, and obviously I still have my work plates because I'm still active duty, my level 4, whatever, the good stuff. So I have some of those, but at the time I wanted my own personal stuff. That way, when I wasn't at work, if I left my gear at work, I would have something to go to and from work or whatever, right? So I wanted body armor, and the cool thing at the time was this stuff, AR-500 body armor, right? It's rated. It says it's a special threat to stop 7.62x51 M80 ball, right? That's what this battle area says on here. And this is a 9-pound plate. So you're looking at 18 pounds. For just the body armor alone, you're looking at 18 pounds. So I didn't really, realize that as our AR-500 sticker falls off. I didn't really realize that at the time. Even though I was active duty, I was like, yeah, but you know, it'll stop anything. So I bought the plates. Fast forward, later on, I realized these things are incredibly heavy, right? Now, at the time, when I didn't have a lot of money when I bought this plate carrier, so I set it up to be kind of like a home defense setup, right? I set it up based on how our work kit was set up, just very minimal, okay? So if you kind of look at the kit here, we'll just talk about this actual rig, because this is, spoiler alert, this is Nighthawk's home defense rig, right? If you guys don't know who Nighthawk is, she's I guess my girlfriend, I guess I can say that now, it's weird. She's my girlfriend, right? And she edits all the videos, and she's awesome, right? And this is her home defense rig, okay? Now the reason why, and we'll get into it a little bit more, is that I know for sure that this will give her a second chance, most likely, at life. And we're gonna talk about that. But let's talk about how to actually set up steel plates, a steel plate carrier if you decide to run steel plates. So obviously this is 20 pounds without any ammunition, right? It's going to be 18 to 20 pounds without any ammunition to run steel plates on average, okay? So let's say 20 pounds plus whatever ammo. So I have her plate carrier set up here with 2 Glock magazines, as you guys can probably see. 2 Glock mags for her Glock 19. That way she, whether she grabs her rifle or her bedside gun, she always has 2 magazines on the gun. That way on the kit, that way she's good to go, okay? And then 2 rifle mags, as you guys can see. Yes, you can put 4, total in these 2 pouches down here, but she's not going to do that because this thing is extremely heavy, even for being stationary, right? I mean, you could have a million mags, but for a defensive scenario, having a couple rifle mags, a couple pistol mags is going to set her up for success if she's here by herself, or even if I'm here and she's supporting me, as she is my battle buddy, my partner in crime. So she will have the ability to actually be a member of the team rather than being a liability, right? She'll be an asset. So that's her body. This is her body armor, right? Notice she has just IR flag on both sides. That way, if I got my night vision on for some reason, if I had additional time to prepare, then I can easily identify that it's her. Okay, that is the plate carrier. Okay, so let's talk about steel versus ceramic. Steel plates will stop more things, okay, typically. Steel plates will stop a lot of rounds, but here's where guys go down the rabbit hole of steel versus ceramic. How many rounds are you expecting to take? And if, let's say, and this is just a thought experiment, your armor is not a target in the sense of, oh, well, steel targets take a ton of rounds. Okay, they do, but however, like in what scenario are you going to be in where you take 15, 20 rounds and you're not moving or dead? Okay, so yes, generally speaking, steel plates will last a lot longer than a regular, equivalent ceramic plate, whether that be a level 4 plate like these or whatever, equivalent, right? M80 or 762 by 51, right? Now, that's cool, but again, how many rounds are you expecting to take? And it comes at a heavy cost. And let's talk about some of those costs. The spalling, right? Everyone always hears about spalling. Now here's the reality of spalling. And for those of you guys that don't know what spalling is, when the bullet hits the body armor, I'll get one of these plates back out. When the bullet hits the body armor, it has to go somewhere, right? So for ceramic plates, the plate will typically just catch the round in the ceramic, okay? But if a bullet hits this plate, that bullet, all that shrapnel, for lack of a better term, the contents of that bullet have to go somewhere because it's not going to be absorbed in the plate. Now what you can see on here, this thing has a little bit of kind of like a bed liner. It basically has like a lining on it to catch some of that spalling. But here's the deal. It's not going to catch all of it. So it really depends on what is shooting you. So if a rifle is shooting you, you might have 1 to 3, based on whatever caliber. Obviously, if you're getting hit with 308, it's going to be a pretty big problem, regardless if you're wearing body armor or not. So one of the least of your concerns if you're getting hit by a 762 by 51 is your body armor, right? But let's say you get slammed with some rifle. The first couple rounds, if it has a coating on here like these do, the first couple rounds will get trapped by that coating or by the plate carrier itself, right? But after that, you are going to receive major lacerations to your face and your neck, right? And obviously you have major arteries that run through your neck, so that's going to be a pretty big deal, right? So, but then in the same, I say that to say this, at the same time, you're going to have major issues with ceramic plates as well. You know that these plates will stop whatever, would have rather been in your heart and lungs is now being stopped by the plate. But like we said, that shrapnel has to go somewhere, and it's either going into your legs or into your neck and face, right? But based on a lot of testing that you've probably seen online or on YouTube, right? Oftentimes, those lacerations are not life-threatening. So, if you have the ability to put some gauze or whatever bandage, whether you got an Israeli bandage or whatever you're rocking, right? If you have the ability to treat that hemorrhage, then you'll probably be okay. But then again, it's important to weigh the pros and cons. So these plates weigh 18 to 20 pounds. All right, guys, so in typical trench grenade channel fashion, the camera died and we did not have enough space, and we're back. So when it comes to deciding whether you're going to choose steel armor or ceramic armor, right? You have to be realistic with yourself. Now, obviously, there's a ton of options out there for good ceramic plates, right? You Google it. I recommend Hesco, but there's a ton of freaking options out there nowadays, right? But some guys, they just really like their steel plates and they're willing to accept the risk/weight. So let's just weigh out the pros and cons, and I'll give you my final kind of thoughts on which one I would recommend to you. So if you choose to run a steel plate, yes, you're most likely going to be protected from the round when it comes to your vital organs. That's really good. You don't have to worry about dropping this thing. If you drop your steel plate, it doesn't matter. It's a steel plate. It's not going to be damaged if you go and drop your plates. For ceramic plates, if you drop them, a handful of times, they are no longer good. If you guys did not know that, now you know. So if you drop ceramic plates a few times, now they may not even work anyway, okay? So the pros of running steel plates is, yeah, it will stop whatever, your heart and lungs and part of your gut, your spine will be fine, right? However, you're not going to be very mobile, okay? So you're going to have to pick and choose, you're going to have to pick and choose your battle of where you're going to actually utilize these plates, right? If you're defending your home with steel plates on, well, you're probably going to be fine, most likely, right? If they punch you a bunch of times with freaking handgun rounds, you'll probably be pretty good, better off than you would have been without body armor, right? So yes, they will be very effective for a home defense role, but again, you're not going to be very mobile. So when you're outfitting your plate carrier, you need to be realistic. Don't overdo it. I would recommend 2 handgun mags and 2 rifle mags. That's about all I would really recommend you run on the plate carrier because it's just going to get too heavy. And if you're doing it for any sort of structured defense, then that's all you really need anyway. You can have pre-staged magazines or shotgun cards throughout that structure, right? Now, let's talk about the cons. The major cons, guys, are that bullet has to go somewhere, right? And everyone talks about the Spalling that's going to go to your face and your jugular, right? That's a problem. I know I beat a dead horse on that, but that's a serious problem, okay? So I guess, is it going to give you peace of mind to wear steel rather than nothing? 100%. You got a freaking piece of steel on your front and your back. That's a whole lot better than nothing. However, you're not going to be mobile. If you have to go literally anywhere, if you have to move a mile in steel plates, you're going to not do it. It's just not feasible to be able to bring any sort of actual kit. I'll grab another kit. It's not going to be feasible to have any sort of actual loadout, with sustainment, with water, with like you could with ceramic. Okay, it's just not going to be feasible. You're not going to be able to carry a two-day bag with any sort of sustainment while you're rocking steel plates. They're just too heavy, right? I don't care if you've been in the gym every day, right? If you're gymming it up every day like you should be, does not matter, right? Steel plates are just they're too freaking heavy to be mobile. So I guess in summary, steel plates versus ceramic. Are they better than nothing? Yes, if you're not moving. Are they going to work are they most likely potentially going to save your life but leave you a little bit jacked up in the face and legs from the spalling if the plate carrier itself or the the coating on the plate doesn't catch it, which it most likely will not after a couple of rounds? Well, yeah, you're going to be pretty jacked up, but you'll be alive, okay? Are there better options than steel? 100%. Ceramic is a better option than steel every day of the week. But if you can get some plates for some reason and you're dead set on getting steel plates and you're like, you understand the pros and cons, you understand, you may walk out of there looking all jacked up, that's fine, or potentially dead if it cuts your major artery or your femoral. If you understand that, okay, well it's your gun, your gunfight, right? But yeah, these are just my thoughts on steel plates. Obviously, Nighthawk uses